My name is Halima. Welcome back to my channel. So today I would like to tell you about my experience as a second year physiotherapy student first semester. Honestly, it was a big jump from my first year because there was it was more serious, more complex, there was more growth, and of course it was definitely more interesting. Yeah, it was more interesting than my first year of uni. A lot of courses, and I dropped some of my courses. I dropped courses like math, statistics, and other courses probably that I can't remember right now. So we generally did anatomy, biochemistry, histology, embryology, physiology. Compared to my first year, some courses were dropped. For example, statistics, math, we dropped all those courses. And then but for biology it was upgraded to anatomy, and for chemistry it was upgraded to biochemistry. So the first course I would like to talk about is anatomy. So anatomy on its own was divided into three sections. Yes, anatomy on its own is divided into three sections. um Under anatomy, it was divided into gross anatomy, histology, and embryology. So under gross anatomy is just trying to explain the body, the internal structures of the body, generally the parts that we can see and touch. And then histology deals with the microscopic view of body tissues, you know, usually with use of microscope. Then apart from histology, embryology can be defined as the way a body forms from an embryo, like the formation of a body from an embryo. That's more of embryology. It was very interesting. Then the second course that we did was biochemistry. Biochemistry was so fun, guys. We did macromolecules like carbohydrates, proteins, and nucleic acid. And then biochemistry was divided into two actually. The first one was divided into the macromolecules I just mentioned, and the second one was divided into enzymology, bioenergetics, and then nutrition. Yes, and then we moved on to physiology. Oh, I loved physiology. Under physiology, we did cell physiology, we did body and what body blood and body fluids. We did blood and body fluids. Sorry. So the second part of physiology was blood and body fluids. So we did this course electrophysics. I also loved electrophysics. Physics was upgraded to electrophysics, guys. So under electrophysics we did courses like it was divided into kinematics and dynamics. Kinematics deals with motion, and then dynamics deals with the forces that cause the motion. So it also shows us the application of physics inside physiotherapy. Then the main courses of physiotherapy was medical rehabilitation and medical psychology. So main courses of physiotherapy, yes, was that we did this semester, I would say, was medical rehabilitation and medical psychology. So medical rehabilitation told us what physiotherapy is about, which is to help people recover physically. And then we also did medical psychology. Under psychology involves how the mind affects healing. Yes, the mind plays a very important role in healing because some stress, emotions, and trauma can hinder healing. So it kind of explains how we can apply psychology into medical rehabilitation. Yes. So that's that. Then we also did general studies. So under general studies we did entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship was also a beautiful course. We learned about businesses and how to start up a business, like how to be self-employed. I loved the course too. So I think these are the general courses that we did. Like biochemistry was divided into two, anatomy was divided into three, then physiology was divided into cell and body, blood and body fluids. Electrophysics was divided into two, which was kinematics and dynamics. Medical, then we did medical rehab, medical psychology. Biochemistry was divided into two. So I think that's all for the courses. And then we also did practical. There's also a practical aspect, gross anatomy, and then histology. Under the practical aspect for our first semester gross anatomy, we saw cadavers. Yes, we saw cadavers, like cadavers. I never imagined, we like back then, like we learn about the back then I would remember in secondary school in biology we only learn about the body parts and all the systems in the body, but we never actually saw it like physically. But when we started anatomy practicals, we actually got to see it, like we got to see everything that like real life, like in its real form, and it was very exciting. And I was very excited to see it. Like I wasn't even scared. I was just happy. Like I wanted to see it, and I finally did see it, and it was an amazing experience. So you guys should be expecting that if you want to study physiotherapy, and you should be expecting that you're going to see a cadaver, and you're going to be able to they'll show you whatever you learned in class on gross anatomy. For example, specific bones of the upper limb, you're going to identify all the bones from the body, that they're going to show you all the bones and the attachment of the muscles where they're attached, and then you see their innervations, and then you see. I think that's mostly what we did with the cadavers. And then we also did the theoretical aspects where it was displayed for us, like everything using videos. It was a very beautiful experience generally. We did histology. We saw a first hand, like all these tissues that we have under histology, like epithelial tissues, muscle, connective, like the four muscles, skeletal. So all these four muscles, we're able to identify them under a microscope, and we drew them. So that practical was very very memorable. Then under physiology practical, we also did blood grouping, like agglutination, when a specific blood group um um mixes with another one, which one does not cause agglutination, which one causes agglutination. We had blood samples, and then we tried doing it. And then we did biochemistry practical. Under biochemistry practical, we tried to identify like acids and basis using color indicators and stuffs like that. Like we were able to also, we did like practical on carbohydrates. We should be able to identify carbohydrates. We did it on carbohydrates. We identified macromolecules, like if something contains carbohydrates, and we do our observation, and we'll write everything down. I think that's all about the practicals: physiology, anatomy, and then histology. These were the three main practicals we did in our first semester. So I think that's all for my experiences. I would like to also share something very important. So if you are aspiring to become a physiotherapist in the future, I'd like to give you some helpful tips. Yes, if you're about to enter your second year in physiotherapy in your first semester, like it's very advisable to start way earlier, so that you enjoy everything, and you'll be able to cover everything up. Then I would like to see under anatomy, it's very important that you use diagrams and then you watch videos. I'm telling you about gross anatomy, like there are very famous videos, like from Dr. Adel Bondok and other videos that you can actually watch. They're going to help you a lot for gross anatomy. Tip is that don't be afraid to ask questions, because even if you're shy, it's going to help you a lot. You should try and ask questions if you don't understand something for more clarification. It's going to be very helpful for you. Don't skip your meals. There was a time I skipped my meal and I entered practical, guys. I had a hypoglycemic attack. Yes, I went to the clinic and the doctor asked me why, like, did I skip my meals? I said yes, and I was like, oh, that's what happened. So he gave me some things to take, and I was back to normal actually within 30 minutes. Then I actually went back to the practical again. So one thing that I was advised on is that if you don't learn to rest, your body is going to rest for you. Like in an unexpected time, your body can just fail you because it's tired. So you need to rest sometimes and take care of yourself physically and mentally. It's going to be very very important. That's my second year first semester experience. It was challenging, yes. It was complex. Like there were more things to memorize, more information that you have to stick to your brain, and new things that you weren't used to, like during secondary days, and you're just learning something new. You're entering like the real aspects of what you're actually studying. So second year is like the beginning of the course you're even studying. I'd like to say I'm proud of how far I've come, and I hope this helps someone out there. So if you're planning to become a physiotherapist or you're already studying physiotherapy, please drop a comment below. Let's connect. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're new here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in another video.